Halo Bu Fani, Bu Stefani. Halo Ibu. Halo Bu Fani. Aduh, Bu Stefani. Halo Ibu. Halo Bu Fani. Aduh, Bu Stefani. Halo Ibu. Halo Bu Fani. Aduh, Bu Stefani. Halo Ibu. Aduh. Hello, Dr. Sandip. Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me, Dr. Sandip?
No, right.
Okay, thanks. Oh my God, I was panicked because I didn't know what happened.
I don't know. So because
So,
Techno also facing the same problem.
can you hear me, Dr. Sandip?
No, right.
Okay, thanks. Oh my God, I was panicked because I didn't know what happened.
I don't know. I don't know what is happening.
I was.
Techno also facing the same problem.
Can you hear me, Dr. Sandip? Yeah, I don't know. Also with. Okay, thanks. I mean, my voice, like, repeat many times. I don't know what happened with my.
Maybe echo coming. What that? Okay, can hear now? Clear?
I don't know with my what's it called, the setting.
Okay, Mr. Jogendra joined already, sir, madam.
Automatically. That's why
So,
I don't know.
Yes, yes. We have faced some problem, maybe Zoom
Okay,
problem.
yeah, please help me.
No problem.
Okay.
Actually, yesterday, Dr. ML also facing same. After that, I give link again, then can join. Sometimes happen, not our fault. Okay, Mr. Aditya also joined. So I think no problem. We are joining. Okay, madam. Thank you. We will start soon. Maybe late 2 to 3 minutes. We wait. Yes, Professor Prosun also joined. Same link, but some problem. I don't know what happened.
I think there is something issue with the recurring
Zoom.
setting of the Zoom.
Maybe. Yesterday also Dr. ML faced the same. After that, same password going. Okay, at least we are in, no problem.
Yeah, let me see if I can share my screen or not.
Yes, yes, can. Let me check also.
Give me a moment, please. Hmm.
Yes, can. Yes, yes, okay. We can see.
Just a minute. Let me see if I can change the settings here. I think it's creating nuisance.
Okay, everything right, fine.
It's
We'll
working
wait
fine
for
now. Right, sir?
Yes, everything okay. So we'll
Okay.
start soon. Just wait for 2 3 minutes. Let others join.
Sure. Can you see my screen, right, sir?
Yes, yes.
Okay, it's working fine, right?
Now.
It's working fine, right, sir?
Yes, yes.
Transitions and everything.
Fine.
Okay. Okay, okay.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, yes.
Unmute media. Yes, thank you. Dr. Poddar, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. We can hear.
Yes.
No problem.
So all set.
Okay, okay. We'll start soon. We are in already live in YouTube. So
Fine.
live. Okay. Just give 2 minutes more. Wait, then start.
today's topic also is very relevant. Beta thalassemia.
Yeah.
Many people throughout the world, they are suffering from this disease.
So we start, madam. We can start now, I think.
Yes,
We can start now.
yes.
Dr. Emil also in.
Yeah, Dr. Sandeep, but maybe we can, we have to fix the problem first, because everyone, when they say something, they like repeat automatically. So we have to find this error, what problem troubles is our setting now.
Everybody, please mute yourself. Then maybe it may be coming from others' microphone. Now no repeat, I think. Madam, please unmute and check. I think no new repeat. Professor Koshun, you can hear any repetition?
Okay.
Yes, yes, fine.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, madam.
Yes, Dr. Amel, welcome from Egypt. Good morning.
Welcome. Good afternoon.
We cannot see you.
Thank
So-
you. How are you?
Yes, fine.
Fine.
We want to
You will
see
start
you.
now? What?
You on your video.
Video? Okay.
Yes. But cannot see you.
Sorry, I have some internet problem.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay.
Okay, we'll see you later on. So
Dr.
we'll start
Sandeep,
first.
can you put me as a co-host,
Sorry,
because I
have
put
some
you as a
internet problem.
host.
Oh. Okay, we'll see you later on. So we'll start first.
Can you put me as
Video.
a co-host?
Good morning.
Oh. I make host.
Video.
Yeah, you are host. Maybe you can find this problem first, because like every time someone speaking something and then the repeat automatically. Yeah, you are host. I don't know what's problem with the setting here. Like every time someone speaking something and then the repeat automatically.
Your YouTube on.
I don't know what's problem with the setting here. Yeah, if okay, it's okay. We can start the lecture now.
Yes, only from your one is coming because maybe your YouTube is on or what? Madam, others, okay, so we can start.
Yes, yes, fine. We can start, Dr. Poddar.
Okay, okay.
Okay, we can start.
Yes, yes. So just I share my slide first, then. Welcome everybody and good morning from Egypt, good afternoon from Indonesia and India and Malaysia, and all others are welcome to our 4th day of international webinar on lifelong learning series on healthcare challenges in new normal era, organized by Lincoln University College Malaysia, University of Bengkulu, Indonesia, and Techno India Engineer Institute of Technology, India. Today, as we are starting for first day, you have seen the different types of lectures going on, and it is a very informative sessions, and all speakers are spending their time as well as all of you. So without wasting much time, today we have 2 speakers. First one is Aditya Maheshwari, the project lead and principal investigator from NGR I3 Labs, Techno India, Indian Institute of Technology, India. And our second speaker is Dr. Amel Daud Guria from Lecturer of Maternity and Newborn Health Nursing, Faculty of Nursing, Cairo University, Egypt. And she is also editorial board member of Malaysian Journal of Nursing. So she will discuss on prevalence of vaginal infection among Egyptian women. So we will get brief of, I invite Professor Prasun Chaudhary Chakraborty from NGR Techno University Institute. So he will give a brief introduction about Mr. Aditya, today's first speaker. Professor Prasun, please.
Yes, thank you, Professor Poddar. So, good afternoon to all of you. So, I'm sure that this FDP that has been organized by Lincoln University College, and it's actually has started with flying colors. And today it's a great privilege for me to introduce today's eminent speaker, Professor Aditya Maheshwari. See, he is such a young, talented person who is actually blended with both your academic credentials, industry credentials, and also obviously the research credentials. He is an open source advocate, technical speaker, expert of user research. And in Techno Engineer, he has actually created an atmosphere by virtue of which the students, they actually create and develop projects using the latest cloud technologies. And as I told yesterday, obviously backed by our chief mentor, Mr. Lalit Yagnik. And here he actually achieved specialization and certification in IBM cloud and blockchain. He is a member of editorial board of many reputed journals, out of which Q2 Scopus and Q3 Scopus. One thing I am very proud to mention that in 2012 he was the only one from India who had been invited by Google for the summer code program and invited to the Google headquarters, California. So from there onwards, in that program, he has actually initiated at our institute, and then the students, all of the means the students from the Techno India, they get an opportunity. And also he has been interviewed by various reputed news channels. He has been invited as a short-term research intern at the University of Tokyo, Japan, and Tsinghua University, China, which is the QS ranking #1 in CS in the world. He has also written a book on beta thalassemia data analytics perspective, which actually is correlated to today's topic. So, and he has in his credit several journal articles. So with this introduction, I'd now like to invite Professor Aditya Maheshwari to please deliver his expert lecture. Professor Aditya Maheshwari.
Thank you, Professor
Thank
Prasun.
you.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Professor Sandeep Poddar, thank you very much to having me on the dais for the giving me opportunity to deliver little knowledge, whatever I did with beta thalassemia. And thank you, audience, to be here. I hope I can aware all of you regarding the beta thalassemia. That's a really a blunder happening in the world with blood iron deficiency with a name of hemoglobin. So thank you all of you. And first thing first, let me share my screen. Let me check if you can see my screen.
Yes, it's okay.
Yes, we can see. Carry on.
Okay, thank you very much. So yeah, thank you very much and welcome for D4 on the international webinar on lifelong learning series, organized by 3 topmost universities and colleges, and the collaboration happening in a new era. And as title said, it's an international webinar on lifelong learning series. Definitely, we have lots of healthcare challenges on new normal era. So my today's topic is on beta thalassemia and data analytics perspective, right? So I have two topics today with me. First is beta thalassemia and the perspective via the data analytics. So first thing first, let's understand about the thalassemia, and then we'll go through the beta thalassemia and also things, right? So all the information about the thalassemia, precise world distribution and frequency of inherited hemoglobin disorder is still limited. There is no doubt that they are going to pose an increasing burden. Uh, Professor Pudar, if you can stop these annotation settings in.
Yes, I am going to stop, but
Thank you. So, so hemoglobin disorders is still limited. So there's no doubt that they are going to pose an increasing burden on global health resources in the future. That's why their high frequency is a reflection of the natural selection combined with a high frequency of consanguineous marriages in many countries, together with an epidemiological transitions whereby as public health measures improve in the poorer countries of the world, more babies with these disorders are surviving to present for the treatment. And by the way, treatment of the thalassemia is way costly of the normal people right now. So this is the global map according to thalassemia belt, which it's an estimate of the annual birth of the important hemoglobin disorder in figure. So this figure is only a very approximate assessment and are based in many cases on only relative small samples from the localized regions of the different countries, such as Malaysia, Indonesia, Bangladesh, India, these Southeastern Asia, right? It has been found recently that in a case study that the distribution of the all important hemoglobin disorder is extremely heterogeneous with different countries, even with a small geographical distance, as I mentioned, Malaysia and Indonesia kind of thing. Hence, a great deal more work needs to be done to provide anything like an accurate estimate of their true frequency. Here, map shows the world distribution of the sickle cell or disorder and hemoglobin and the different form of thalassemia. So now, question is, what is thalassemia, right? So, okay, I think there is something problem with video. Okay, so thalassemia is inherited disorder characterized reduced or I can say absent amounts of hemoglobin in blood, that oxygen carrying protein inside the RBC, red blood cells. So due to hemoglobin is the protein that is affected in thalassemia. Actually, hemoglobin is made of heme and alpha globins and beta globins. At least 9 different of genes direct the production of heme. Changes in these genes may lead to disorder of heme production, or I can say a group of conditions separate from the thalassemia. Alpha thalassemia occurs when a mutation in gene that codes for alpha globin result in reduced or absent production of alpha globins. Or I can say beta thalassemia occur with a corresponding change in the beta globin gene. Therefore, the thalassemia are a result of quantity mutation in global genes, right? So these signs and symptoms of thalassemia in measure appear within the first 2 years of life of children. Children develop life-threatening anemia. They do not gain weight, grow at the expected rate, failure to thrive, or I can say many develop yellowing of their skins, or whites of the eye like a jaundice. Affected individual may have an enlarged spleen, liver, and heart, and their bones may be mishappen. Some adolescents with thalassemia may experience delayed puberty. Many people with thalassemia may have such severe symptoms that they need frequent blood transfusion to replenish their red blood cells supply regularly. Over the time, an influx of iron containing hemoglobin from chronic blood transfusion can lead to a buildup of iron in the body. So resulting in liver, heart, and hormone problems occur with that baby, with the children, or I can say with the infant. So there are two types of basic groups of thalassemia disorder or syndrome or a disease we can say. One is alpha thalassemia and another is the beta thalassemia. So in short, alpha thalassemia is just a blood disorder that reduces the productivity of hemoglobin, right? So hemoglobin is the iron containing protein in red blood cells that carries oxygen to cell throughout the body. In people with the characteristic feature of the alpha thalassemia, uh, reduction in the amount of hemoglobin prevents enough oxygen from reaching the body's tissues. Affected individuals also have a shortage of red blood cells. Sometimes it's called anemia, which can cause pale skin, weakness, fatigue in the children, and more serious complications. So that's a alpha thalassemia. So another problem we are today going to focus, and I would like to aware all of you, is beta thalassemia. So what is beta thalassemia? It's a blood disorder that reduces the production of hemoglobin because it's a part of thalassemia. But in people with beta thalassemia, low level of hemoglobins lead to a lack of oxygen in many parts of the body. Affected individuals, children, also have a shortage of red blood cells, which cause to anemia, severe anemia, which can cause pale skin, weakness, fatigue, and more serious complications. People with beta thalassemia are at an increased risk of developing abnormal blood clots. So these clots, beta thalassemia is classified into two types depending on the severity of the symptom, such as measure of beta thalassemia, which is also known as Cooney anemia, or another one is beta thalassemia intermedia. So of the two types, thalassemia measure is more severe because children need blood transfusion in every 20 days. Is right. So the most familiar type of thalassemia is beta thalassemia. It involves decreased production of normal adult hemoglobin, the predominant type of hemoglobin from soon after birth until death. So, so, so in beta thalassemia, it's caused by a change in the gene of the beta globin component of hemoglobin, as we have already discussed. It can also cause variable anemia that can range from moderate to severe. And once it's reached to severe anemia, the infant need regular blood transfusion in every 20 days. Right. So mostly beta thalassemia trait is seen most in people with Middle Eastern, Indian, African, Chinese, and Southeast Asian, including Vietnamese, Thai, Singaporean, Malaysian, and Indonesian countries. So, what is hemoglobin? First thing first, what is hemoglobin and type and variants? So, all hemoglobin consists of two parts, heme and globin, right? So, globin part of HbA has four protein section called polypeptide chains. Two of these chains are identical and are designated to alpha chains. The other two chains are also identical to one another but differ from the alpha chains and are termed that beta chain. In person with beta thalassemia, there is reduced or absent production of beta globin chains. That's why persons severe with the beta thalassemia issue. So, what is the symptoms of beta thalassemia? So, beta thalassemia is actually caused by damaged or missing genes. We have already discussed this in previous slides. Two specific genes are involved. One is beta thalassemia major, and there are two damaged genes. This is more severe from this disorder. People with this condition will need frequent blood transfusion. They may not live a normal lifespan because every 20 days to 2 month time duration they have to go for blood transfusion, right? So what is basic symptoms of beta thalassemia is you can see in children's delay in the growth and development. You can see facial bone deformities, or you can see abdominal swelling, pale skin, white eyes, or jaundice kind of things, right? So here it is, you can see chipmunk faces, right? So this is the example of beta thalassemia patients. You can directly recognize that from their face elements or there's symptoms we can say. So you can find chipmunk facials. So beta thalassemia minor or thalassemia trait, only one gene is damaged. So with one gene damage, this causes less severe anemia. People with this type have a 50% chance uh, of passing the gene to their children. if the other parent is not affected, their children will also have this form of disorder. So it's a heredity. It comes from the parents. Uh, so here you can see chipmunk faces example. I have a real-time example curated from the John Hopkins Hospital. This is this baby is severe with chipmunk faces. If you can see, like this, the swelling of the facial bones. So this is the real-time example of chipmunk faces beta thalassemia major patients. So what is the treatment of beta thalassemia? So infant with thalassemia major are well at birth because of special form of hemoglobin present in the fetus and newborn. Eventually, however, this hemoglobin is replaced by defective hemoglobin, which has come from their parents. Symptoms emerge late in the first year of life. The child develops pale skin, irritability, growth retardation, swelling of the abdomen due to enlargement of the liver, and spleen with jaundice. So these are symptoms of in first year of the infant you can recognize, and you can directly go to the doctor and consult for the thalassemia test. This is associated with severe anemia with reputed of the RBCs, which is called red blood cells, or in technical word, if you can say hemolytic anemia. Hemolytic anemia. The child with thalassemia major becomes dependent on blood transfusions, and although they do help, they create further problem including iron overloaded, because we keep changing the uh, blood transfusion. We keep doing blood transfusion in every 20 days to 2 months. So it create a new iron in their RBCs, and it again it's infected RBC and then hemoglobin, and it again your hemoglobin, your thalassemia problem increase in that RBCs. So folic acid supplementation is often given to the infant. At this time, the primary treatments are directed at the relieving symptom of the illness. Selected patient may qualify for bone marrow or stem cell transplant, or maybe gene therapy remains a potential treatment for the future. But let me tell you, the bone marrow transplant or a stem cell transplant is the most costliest treatment for a common man. Sometimes it costs around 40,000 US dollar. And with a 50% accuracy of the thalassemia removal, right? So it's a very expensive test and very expensive treatment for the beta thalassemia. So the long-term hope is that thalassemia major will be cured by insertion of the normal beta chain gene through the gene therapy, or by another modality of molecular medicines with bone marrow and all kind of stuff. So the first thing comes in my mind, that how do people get thalassemia, right? So as I have already said that, or told that thalassemia is an inherited condition. The genes received from other parents before birth determine whether a person will have thalassemia or not. Thalassemia cannot be caught or passed on to another person. The clinical severity of the thalassemia varies tremendously depending on the exact nature of the genes that a person inherits. So now question is, how are genes inherited? So at the time of conception, a person receives one set from genes from the mother and the corresponding set of genes from the father. The combined effect of the many genes determines some traits such as hair color, or I can say height, for instance. Sometimes traits determined by a combination of gene often have gradation in magnitude. The difference between the marriage of two persons, such as Misael and Abu Sheikh's marriage, for instance. Other characteristics are determined by a single gene pair, right? As a person's gender, for instance, a personal a person is either a biological male or female. The inheritance pattern is complicated in patients with thalassemia because two sets of genes on different chromosome cooperate to produce hemoglobin. So that's why a defect anywhere in the complex can produce thalassemia. So the expression of thalassemia therefore more closely resembles that of height with gradation in effect. So now how to stop thalassemia to spread among the parents and then the carrier parents to the kids or infant or children. So there is very vague idea of mine, which is why couple must get screened for thalassemia before marriage. So thalassemia, as I've already mentioned, that thalassemia is blood-related genetic disorder, right? Which is involving the absence of, or I can say, error in genes responsible production of hemoglobin in red blood cells. So every year, more than 10,000 children with thalassemia major are born in India. So I have done research on the Indian data sets. So every year, more than 10,000 children with thalassemia major are born in India, and thalassemia patients are unknowingly passing on the genetic disorder to their children. Experts, the trends can be curbed if couples undergo thalassemia screening before marriage. According to a study which is published in the International Journal of Medical Science and Public Health, John Hopkins, uh, in India, the most prevalent hemoglobinopathies are the thalassemia and sickle cell diseases, or I can say sickle cell anemia or Cooley anemia. To reduce the burden of highly prevalent monogenic disorder, the study proposed it is essential that disease progression is halted at the carrier stage. That means before marriage or before having a kid. When two such thalassemia carriers marry and plan to have children, there is 1 in 4 chance of having a thalassemic baby at every conception. So a simple blood test, Nestroft, which is very valuable and cost-effective screening test for thalassemia before marriage, will let couples know if they are carriers or not. If both are non-carriers, they need not worry. If both are carriers, they may either decide not to have children or go for a test called amniocentesis with within the first 12 weeks of pregnancy to detect if the child is affected or not. Right. So this is what I want to aware youth to have this kind of test to stop the spreading of this thalassemia, because once a kid get a thalassemia disease, it's a very expensive and very tedious work or job to decrease the effect of that thalassemia, and that such a baby is really getting a problems with uh, day-to-day blood transfusion problem, and their social life become very tedious. So that's why I would like to say all of you that please if you are about to get married, please go for this Nestofort test. It is very valuable and cost effective, and mostly in government hospital like in India, it's a free of cost. So that was the first part of the today's topic. The today's topic of the webinar is beta thalassemia with a data analytics perspective. So we have a little research on the analytics perspective as well. We have collected the data from various hospitals and reference the various study on the beta thalassemia and come out and create a conclusion and result and create a neural model. And we have published in our very small research study in the form of a book with the publisher of the Lambert Academic with the Professor Prasoon as well, right? So here the second part of this today's webinar is data analytics. So why data analytics on healthcare is so boom in these days, right? So healthcare analytics is the collection of analysis and analysis of data in the healthcare industry in order to gain insights and support decision making. We can have an example of COVID pandemic right now, and today's government taking the collection, taking the data points from every street of the country, and based on that data collection and creating insight, and then they decide that whether their country needs lockdown or not, and what the lockdown going to impact with the healthcare things. So healthcare analytics is the information of a person regarding previous medical issues and upcoming complications. It also gives information about the person medication previously, such as fortunately advances in data management, particularly virtualization and cloud computing, are facilitating the development of platforms for more effective capture, storage, and manipulation of large volume of data. Healthcare analytics have the potential to scale back prices of treatment, predict outbreaks of epidemics, avoid preventable disease, and improve the quality of life in general. So, what is the scope of data analytics in healthcare? Why we need data analytics in healthcare? So, currently, as the healthcare market is growing, it has become clear that organizations which are capable of leveraging the power of analytics are demonstrating a clear advantage in market share over their competitors. Big data analysis is healthcare has in fact now becoming the driving force for creating opportunities in developing optimal treatment pathways, improving the medical loss ratio, and better managing clinical decision support systems. So yeah, to have a clinical decision support system, we need a data analytics in healthcare information. Another point I can count as big data analytics technology sift through large amount of data. They understand, categorize, and learn from it. They are the capable of predicting the outcomes or recommended alternative treatments to clinicians and patients at the point of care at the starting stage. They make treatment a lot easier and accessible. We right now we have lots of variables out in the market, and they collect the data, and those data can be leveraged in various information, and we can come out with insights, useful insights. Data analysis also result in faster development for more accurately targeted vaccines. For example, choosing the annual influenza strains or turning large amounts of data into actionable information that can be used to identify needs, provide services, or predict and prevent crises, especially for the benefit of populations, or I can say public and population health. Analytics of data can also boost to go capture and analyze in real time large volume of fast moving data from in hospital and in home devices for safety monitoring and adverse event prediction. Sometimes insurance firms will run prognosticative analytics on the insured patient's health to have and to get the knowledge and claim knowledge to predict future prices for the next policy renewals or use the trend for the new businesses offers. And at the same time, you may want to offer insurance plan or competitive on competitive rates, right? The solution that a big data analytics offer can mine web-based and social media-based data to predict flu outbreak based on consumer search, social content, and query activity. So, what are data sets used for healthcare analytics? What kind of data set we use in healthcare analytics? So, healthcare data sets include a vast amount of medical data, various measurements, financial data, statistical data, demographic of specific populations, and insurance data, to name just a few, gathered from various healthcare data sources. Healthcare analysis is based on data and data sets in particular and provide all benefit of dashboards and healthcare system. Due to diversity of healthcare data sources, data standardization is a key pillar for efficient and meaningfulness use of the information and collaboration of healthcare professionals, care providers, insurance, insurers, and government agencies. As machine learning is so much popularly is now widely deployed across various health sector because of its ability to make real prediction and draw insights which usually go unnoticed given the volume and unstructured nature of the data sets. So data analytics with the healthcare information is so much popular. So in my next slides, I have curated few repositories that have culminated over the years, and thanks to the never-ending efforts of the researchers to make crucial metadata available to the common public, so they can try them out their own machine learning models. So I have a list with me for open source data sets. This deck will be available on the online to download, so you guys can download these slide and you can try out these open source data sets as per your wish. But let me go through one by one. The first data set is WHO, that is World Health Organization, is authenticate as it can when it comes to keep tracking to health of the all nations. Its open data source contain categories which include child nutrition, neglected disease, risk factors, pertaining to certain diseases among others. The entire data set of the World Health Organization or WHO, I can say, is available in Excel format or CSV format. So all the tools are, easily compatible with that. Even though if you want to do some analytics on the COVID parameters, so you can go to WHO and download the all data set from the WHO website. The another platform is OGD Platform India. This website consists of all data collected from India health agencies such as IMA, NHI.gov.in, and other entities, which categorize in the catalog range from primary health in tribal regions to state-wise health reports. So, if you want to do some, data analysis on health informatics with tribal data, you can go to OGD Platform of India, and you have a data in CSV format as well. The third and the most famous data set for the world is Kaggle website. So in Kaggle, their dataset consists of 26 indicators like acute illness, chronic illness, uh, immunization, mortality rates, and others. These indicators in turn have subcategories which cover all the attributes. So if you want to do some, the data analytics with a machine learning perspective, you can go to the Kaggle website and can download all kind of data sets. The another data set I would like to mention now is HDD, which is heart disease data sets. These database contains 76 contributors, but all published experiment refer to using a subset of 14 of them. In particular, to Cleveland database is the only one that has been used by machine learning researchers. Next, I would like to mention is Project Brainomics, which is most famous for the neural things. So in Project Brainomics provide a technical foundation for the database based on a semantic web framework, bringing together imagining and genetics and questionnaire data from the patients. And it's totally on public domain. You can go and grab and do the analytics and come to the conclusion, have a paper, go to the journals, and you can have a Scopus paper or IEEE Springer paper, and you can come to the conclusion, and those conclusions can be, helpful to the a doctor to assess to take us any decision for the particular thing, such as OpenFMRI, PIMA Indian diabetes, city medical images, malaria dataset, and the last but not least, which is mental health in tech survey, which is most popular these days during the COVID, because this data was collected with an aim to measure mental health in the tech workspace versus virtual workspace. So during this COVID, everyone is working from the home, which is equal to virtual workspace. So this is collected from this is correct collection of that data where it measures the mental health in tech workspace versus virtual workspace, and examine the frequency of mental health disorders among tech workers. So with that open source data set, you require the a best tool with you can do the analytics. So I have a list of important tool for data analytics as well. So as the growing demand and importance of data analytics in the market have generated many opening worldwide. I mean, it becomes slightly tough to shortlist the top data analytics tool as the open source tools are more popular, but user friendly and performance oriented as well than the paid version. First thing first, I have a Tableau. So Tableau Public is a free software that connects any data source in corporate data warehouse, MS Excel, or I can say web-based data, and create data visualization, maps, dashboards, etc. Which you may use those uh, graphs in your paper, in your study, in your research, with the real-time updates presenting on web. They can also be shared through social media or to the study person. It allows us to access the download the file in different formats. If you want to see the power of Tableau, then must have very good data source. I mean, it requires a big data source because Tableau's big data capabilities make them important, and one can analyze and visualize the data better than any other data visualization software in the market. So Tableau is completely free of cost and open source. You can go and you can use it for your study purpose. The second thing is a rapid miner, which is very popular. I think I should not explain you guys because it's very popular. Even though let me have a two lines for the rapid miner as well, because it is one of my favorite uh, mining tool for the data analytics. So is miner is a powerful integrated data science platform developed by the company that performs predictive analysis and other advanced analytics like data mining, text analytics, machine learning, and visual analytics without any programming. It's just GUI based. Just load your data, load your CSV file, connect to the database, select the parameters, and hit the analyze button, and boom, you have all the research visualization on your screen as per your requirement. RapidMiner can also incorporate with any data source types including Access, Excel, SQL, Teradata, Oracle, DB2, Ingress, MySQL, IBM SPSS, DBase, blah, 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 blah. So this tool is very powerful that can generate analytics based on real-time live data information setting. That is, you can control the format and data set for predictive analytics. Third, which is very mostly used and common in researcher and the student, which is Python programming language and R programming language. R and Python is the leading analytics tool in the industry and widely used for statistics and the data modeling. In case, it can easily you manipulate your data and present in different ways as per your requirement. It can access it stats in many ways like capacity of data, performance, outcome, and it's compiled and run on a wide variety of platforms, maybe on Unix, Windows, Mac, operating system. Right, it has almost a 12,000 package and allows you to browse package by categorize. Even though if you don't have any package installed in your system, you can easily go do pip and install those packages for your references. The old but the most popular Apache Spark, which is a fast, large-scale data processing engine and execute application in Hadoop cluster 100 times faster in the memory and 110 times faster on the disk. Spark is built on data science and its concept makes data science effortless. Spark is also popular for data pipeline and machine learning models development. Spark include machine learning library as well that provides, a progressive set of machine learning algorithm for repetitive data science techniques such as classification, regression, collaborative filtering, clustering, etc. IBM Spaces is also famous, and all of you are aware of it, IBM Spaces to do the neural perceptron or neural modeling and kind of thing, logistic regressing. With IBM SPSS, platform offered advanced statistical analysis, a vast library of machine learning algorithm, text analysis, open source extensibility, integration with the big data, and seamless development into application. Also, MS Excel and MATLAB and Scilab are working in the same way. So these are important tools for the data analytics. You have a open source data sets available in on the public domain, and now you have an open source tool as well. So what you're waiting for, just go to the data sets, download the data sets, convert your idea into a research, and find a very useful decision or model to help epidemics like a COVID, influenza, and help the society. Also, remember a single blood test can help from the lifetime suffering from the thalassemia. So please aware your friends, your children, your knowing that if they are going to get married, just go for the test. It's very affordable and simple test to prevent the future problems of their children regarding the hemoglobin and blood. And lots of awareness campaign going on Twitter. So you can have a look the influencer of thalassemia, and they are good doing the uh, awareness campaign on the Twitter. They are trying to aware the users, the digital users, but we need to aware the users as well in our region, in our society, and stop these spreading this thalassemia as much as possible. So this is done for the day, and thank you very much for the opportunity. Over to Professor Prasoon.
Hello. Yes.
Thank you very much, sir. If audience have any question regarding data analytics, I can
Yes.
help you out.
Really,
you for your-
what an informative lecture. Good, good. Well, now,
Now,
if
I
there
would
is any question.
Yes.
No thanks, no thanks, no questions. Thank you.
Yes.
I have a question. Can I raise a question?
Yes, sir. Without your
Oh,
question,
Lalit sir.
it's not
Lalit,
going to be
Lalit
end.
sir. Hi.
Yeah, sir. Hi, everybody.
Oh, you are in park. Good, good.
I'm in a park, Macritchie Park in Singapore. So I'm enjoying listening and also watching the beauty of this nature park. So I think that even though I've been working with Aditya almost joined to the hip, as they say, for last 5 years, but I learned quite a lot today. So thank you, Professor Maheshwari. I have my question is, and this is not so much only the question to you, Aditya, but also more people who are involved in a big impact. And then the question is, just bear with me. My question is that while data analytics on thalassemia is going to help identify or some of the analysis about population, and basically that would help build the awareness. However, as we say for many years in data analytics, that data analytics is only as good provided it create actionable insights and organization, the focus on the word, and organization take decisions. So now I know there could be many decisions taken, but one simple decision, and I like everybody's thoughts on that, which only emerged just now in my head, that most of the time, while you said that they should get tested, but could it not be made as part of process, government process, that or no marriage celebrant should be allowed to issue a marriage certificate or conduct marriage or a priest, etc., without couple bringing their certificate of the blood test you talked about. So that's one part.
Yes.
And maybe let me finish the second part of the question. And could it be that through these studies with showing the data and analytics and import, could we not raise that awareness not only at a local government levels in a country, but also at a UN type of agencies? The reason being that UN has this framework of 17 SDGs, strategic development goals, and there are many factors. But even let's say a country like India produces 10,000, and if you add that number with among other populated thalassemia populated countries, I'm sure that number is too large. So while studies may not be able to save anything, but at least future lives of those can be improved by having such a process. And just like people are asking for now COVID certified before you're allowed to travel. So is there anything, an awareness building activity backed by data analytics? I'm not suggesting that it's only done by politicians, but sometimes such initiatives could come because now we have enough of knowledge of this, enough of data to go out that way. Then perhaps it may start in one country.
Understood. Lalit sir, be short.
So any of your thoughts on, and particularly Professor Sandeep and Indonesia professors. So I just want to get a feel for your thoughts on this.
Yes.
Should I take the? So
Yes.
any certification or examination should compulsory from the government, to have a marriage. I think we should start creating awareness in the society. So with that thing, we can create awareness in young people, and back with the data analytics fact, it will create a double impact on the youth, and they are going to accept or taking examination or test for the nephrostost for the thalassemia, such as right now we are doing for flying with the aircraft for COVID certify. So I think first thing first, we need to create awareness with the social campaign or social media campaign. We can't rely completely 100% on the government to make it compulsory for all of us. But yeah, we can definitely create a impact with the social media campaigns.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Aditya. And I would like to inform you that I have worked long time in thalassemia unit of Ramakrishna Mission Seva Pradhishthan,
Yes.
Vietnam Institute of Medical Sciences.
Yes.
And from the very day beginning of my PhD, 1998, I worked in that lab. And we are the first person in Calcutta working on PCR on beta thalassemia and hemoglobinopathies. I have worked with CSIR, Director General Lab, Professor Shumir Brahmachari, and we have publications also jointly. I have do DNA sequencing also in his lab, IGIB, that time the named Institute of Genomics and Integrative Biology. He was the director of that institute, and CSIR also, DG. So I have worked there on sequencing of thalassemia gene, and that time we are in part of human genome sequencing. So
Yeah.
while talking about this thalassemia screening, we have done amniotic fluid testing in our lab. I have done myself
Okay.
amniotic fluid DNA analysis and give the report. And after 1 year, we have seen the baby also that coming and testing that yes, we are fit. So we have given that type of report, and it very means glad. We are very much joyful when we see that we have tested the baby when he was in the womb, and now she is coming by jumping. So that is very nice to see and very means pleasure for us for work. Now what is he is telling that government initiative? Yes, we have the government initiative, and we have screening test also. Nestrop is not so positive, means accurate test, so we don't allow Nestrop that time. We do HPLC or thalassemia electrophoresis, hemoglobin electrophoresis. So that is the good test, and we do ARMS PCR for testing the mutations. So as some questions also arise, mild thalassemia, because the people not aware about what is mild, why mild condition,
Intermediate.
and there is no mild and such thing, because there is different types, beta, alpha, E. So different hemoglobinopathies show different types of manifestation. So we have to be aware, and if we test and give a person carrier, so it is not that carrier cannot marry. A carrier also can marry a carrier. So it is not that we restrict the marriage, and it is very bad impact in society also if we tell that one person is carrier and immediately his marriage is broke down. So it is a burden, and that person going to suicide. So we cannot tell openly the reports of everybody to others person as per medical perspective, medical
Yes.
ethics.
Yes.
So there are many ethical reasons and many things means attached with it. It is not that government not doing, government doing the testing and also giving the support. And if there is carrier, we tell, yes, you are carrier both. So before going for childbirth, you must do testing of amniotic fluid. So that is also costly effect also for sometimes. So that these are things, and also there are thalassemia foundations in Kolkata. Mithun Chakraborty also helped in that foundation. So there are many persons coming forward and do, and we have done from our persons. I have traveled means many times in Tripura, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam. Myself with Ramakrishna Mission Seva Pradhishthan hospitals I have traveled, and we go to Alang at the border of India, China. So nobody goes usually. That
Oh
time
my
of-
God, China. Oh my God.
And
Now
so
you
that time,
don't go.
so we tested there and we screen the populations, etc., and give the reports to them. So hoping that we means we are there for combating with this thalassemia. So anybody have any question? Also, you can email me. So thank you, Mr. Aditya, for your nice deliberation about the implementation of data analytics in anemia and thalassemia. Because
Thank
when
you
we
very
do
much, sir.
PCR,
Yeah.
that time we do jail electrophoresis, and that jail also scanned to jail documentation system. That also a part of data analytics. Okay,
Yes.
thank you. And
And Professor Sandeep, I will come to you separately because I'm
Yes,
working
yes.
with another United Nations projects, kind of a team out of UK.
Yes, yes, of
So
course.
let me come back to you because I'll advise them to connect you and them.
Of
So
course.
I'll reach out to you.
Thank you.
Yes, Dr. Sandeep has a huge experience in this particular field, and
Very
he has
good.
rightly actually clarified. Only thing, Mr. Lalit, I can think that if due to this means if there is a hindrance in actually marriage, then I think the men will be very happy because we all husbands are scared of our wives. Okay, so fine. Okay, the next speaker, Dr. ML. Fine.
So thank you, Miss. Now I would like to invite our next speaker, Dr. Amal.
Hello.
Yes, welcome, madam. And she will talk on prevalence of vaginal infection among Egyptian women. So she is lecturer of maternity and newborn health nursing, faculty of nursing, Cairo University, Egypt. And also she is editorial board member of Malaysian Journal of Nursing, which is published from our university college itself, Lincoln University College. And it is one of the first journal in Malaysian nursing field and indexed in Malaysian ministry, my site. Only 200 journals is listed in under my site. Within that, our Malaysian Journal of Nursing also one of them. So Dr. Amal Daud Khalifa has been more than 20 years of experience in the field of women health. She has attended more than 30 national and international conferences related to nursing and healthcare. Her area of specialty is maternal and newborn health nursing. She is also an author of 5 books and assessment of common type of vaginal infection among women, early bleeding during pregnancy, management of primary postpartum hemorrhage, evidence-based practice in clinical nursing, and critical thinking in nursing clinical practice. She is also among the editorial board members of review of several scientific journals, both domestic and international, and one of the scientific committee of teacher award 3 times and best thesis award at Cairo University. She was also awarded by Faculty of Nursing, Cairo University, and as one of the partners of Global Science and Technology Forum Congress, GSTF in Singapore. So without further delay, I would like to invite Dr. Amal. The stage is yours.
Hello,
Good
good
afternoon.
afternoon.
I
Hope
hope
you all find well. I am so
so
happy to be co-chair of this conference, and I am
I'm happy
of the editorial board of
editorial board
Malaysian Journal of
the hosting YouTube.
خلاص كده بدأت انت. Hello. يا ماما خلاص بقى اخرجي من هنا. Spotlight your video for everyone.
Madam, you keep one device near and one device far. One device you mute.
Okay.
You please log out, ma'am, from one of the devices. Either it means from mobile.
You can share the screen now, madam.
Okay.
You can mute your mobile. You can mute your mobile. You can talk with laptop. Mute your mobile.
Mute your mobile.
Now it will be, there will be no echo. Okay. Carry on. Say hello.
I fear from internet. Okay.
Yes, yes, okay.
Yeah, now it's okay. Now it's okay. All the
Thank
best.
you for a chance for participation.
It's okay, madam.
Question.
فين بريفلانس؟ خليك معايا فين بريفلانس؟ بريفلانس فين؟ بريفلانس فين؟ سوري افتحي يا شير الشير خليك طب افتحي لي الفاجينا انفكشن الكمبيوتر فتح على الموبايل هذا شير الدوكيمنت اهو
Right hand side top, you can
Yes,
type the
I,
name of
I
your
will
file.
start now. I will start now. Sorry. I will discuss about prevalence of reproductive tract infection in Egypt. This is my specialty. By Dr. Amal Dawood, one of the editorial board of Malaysian Journal and the lecturer of maternity and newborn health nursing, and one member of Global Health Nursing and the Global Health Conference Singapore, one of the scientific committee.
Madam, hello.
Hello.
Not yet shared the screen. Wait, the computer hanged maybe. You please stop share and again share. I am stopping share. You just again share.
What?
Just share the screen.
Share
Yes.
from screen.
Yes, share the screen. Yes. Now make it full screen.
Yes.
Yes. Just wait.
Objective.
Okay.
You list
okay.
me.
Yes. Now okay. You please go to
Objective:
first slide.
identify classification of
You can go
gynecological.
to first slide, madam.
Identify classification of gynecological infection.
Madam, you go from the first. Back first.
Okay. Identify classification of gynecological.
No, back slide, first slide, madam, first slide.
This slide?
Yes, BBS one, first one.
The prevalence of
Yes,
reproductive tract infection in Egypt by Amal Dawood, lecturer of maternity and newborn health nursing, faculty of nursing, Cairo University. One of the scientific committee of Global Health Conference Singapore, and one of the editorial board of Malaysian Journal of Nursing and many international journal of nursing. Objective of this lecture: identify classification of gynecological infection, identify normal flora, explain vulvovaginitis, explain causes of each type of vaginitis, explain clinical manifestation. No internet access. Vaginal infection or vaginitis, extremely common despite the therapeutic advanced vaginitis, remain a common problem worldwide, affecting all strata of society, responsible for millions of visiting annually to outpatient gynecology clinic, obstetric clinic, antenatal clinic, and genitourinary medicine. Vaginal discharge among the 2-5 most common reasons of consulting physician in private office practice in USA. It is found more than 25% of women attending sexual transmitted disease. Not all women with vaginal symptoms have vaginitis. However, approximately 40% of those with vaginal symptoms have some type of vaginitis. Most women will experience vaginal infection at least once in their life. Vaginal infection is a medical term for infection and inflammation of vagina used to describe various conditions that cause infection or inflammation of lining mucosa of the vagina. Classification of gynecological infection. Lower genital tract infection included vulvovaginitis, vulvovaginal candidiasis, bacterial vaginosis, trichomonas vaginitis. Upper genital tract infection, mainly the one of complication of lower genital tract infection, cervicitis and PID, pelvic inflammatory disease. Normal flora of the vagina. Vagina secretion consists of tissue fluid, epithelial tracts, electrolyte, protein, and lactic acid. The vagina not only secrete but also absorb water, electrolyte, and substance of the molecular weight. Vaginal pH ranged from 3.5 to 4.2. This is the normal range of vaginal pH, which is maintained by production of lactic acid. Lactic acid appear in the period after period of puberty under effect of estrogen secretion. The level vary with the menstrual cycle. The effect of ovarian hormones on the vagina epithelial and cervical secretion. Normal secretion, follicular white, located in the posterior fornix of the vagina, leukorrhea, pregnancy, time of ovulation, and before ovulation. This is the time of normal secretion. If show this secretion, that's normal, but not causes itching or dyspareunia or offensive odor. Natural against genital tract infection. A natural barrier as vaginal acidity. In childbearing period, estrogen helps glycogen deposition in the vaginal wall. Deuterline bacilli, lactobacillus split gynecological into lactic acid, and the pH of the vaginal is 4.5, not more. Stratified squamous epithelial of the vagina. Stratification of the vagina epithelium, this normal anatomy, is stimulated by secretion of estrogen during puberty period. Cervical mucus, it closes the cervical canal, preventing ascent microorganism. Monthly shedding of endometrium through the menstruation. That can decrease the incidence of infection. Age. Age is very important between causes balance of hormonal period. The vagina colonization. The vagina is sterile secondary to maternal estrogen effect. The growth of lactobacillus is enhanced, and it can short few week estrogen effect when lactobacilli disappear and are absent of the, and the onset of the puberty. Vaginal microflora predominantly formed lactobacillus under effect of estrogen after menopause. Lactobacilli are diminished and the thinning of the vagina epithelium occurs, so vagina gets susceptible to atrophic or senile vaginitis. Sexual activity. Semen has alkaline pH, thus affecting microenvironment of the vagina. New organisms that may be introduced into the vagina also affect environment. Women have more one sexual partner or have more sexual relations. It's more exposed to vaginal infection, especially trichomonas infection as one of sexual transmitted disease. At time of menstruation, physiological change occur in the vaginal flora through the diminution of the vaginal acidity. Disappearance of the cervical mucus and presence of blood may also contribute to infection. Pregnancy. During pregnancy, physiological change as a change of level of hormone, estrogen and progesterone, and increase the vascularity of the vagina and blood flow. There enhance growth of lactobacillus during pregnancy and enhance acidity. This favor cross endogenous yeast infection. Yeast infection, it means candida infection, labor and laceration. The vagina is much less acid or even alkaline. Cervix is dilated and presence of genital laceration predisposed to infection. Antibiotic and always of time instruct women to avoid using of improper antibiotic or unnecessary antibiotic. Not take antibiotic for common cold or without prescription, physician prescription. Therapeutic antibiotic given for any indication, result disease and susceptible flora, including lactobacilli and the corresponding increase in resistance organisms, including Candida albicans and Trichomonas vaginalis. These occur in immunosuppressive conditions such as AIDS, MS patient, multiple sclerosis patient, patient in corticosteroid treatment. There are 4 common conditions of vaginal infection during childbearing period: Candida, and known as yeast infection or vulvovaginal candidiasis, bacterial vaginosis, Trichomonas vaginalis. Sherry. Trichomonas vaginalis. First one, among Egyptian women, vulvovaginitis is a very common symptoms in primary health care. It is considered the second most common gynecological problem after menstrual disorder. It is responsible for millions of visits annually, outpatient clinic, gynecologic and obstetric clinic. In Egypt, the prevalence of vaginal infection is very high among different studies. The study by Kamil, by me, was found that 58.8 among the total sample 400 cases during childbearing period. The type of infection isolated where vulvovaginal candidiasis was diagnosed 41%. It is one of the most common vaginal infection in Egypt because the hot weather, obesity, bacterial vaginosis, the second type in Egypt, but worldwide, the first type. Third type, Trichomonas infection, 6% of the sample had Trichomonas infection, and 1.6 had mixed infection between vulvovaginal candidiasis and Trichomonas or bacterial vaginosis with candidiasis. This figure illustrates the prevalence of vaginal infection. Normal cases for 41.2, vulvovaginal candidiasis 41, bacterial vaginosis 10%, Trichomonas 2%, 6%, sorry, mixed infection 1.6. Study was conducted to assess risk factor of vaginitis among female patients during childbearing and postmenopausal period, randomly selected from urban Family Health Care Center in Rural Family Health Unit in Tanta, one of the government in Egypt. It is included about 160 cases and 2 for 40 control. They that found 31.3 of cases were bacterial vaginitis, 32.8 fungal infection, 25 mixed infection, and 5% trichomonas. A study done by Baria in Egypt 2016 showed that 93.6 of women were infected with the following organism, respectively E. coli 29.7, Kilia bacilli 22.8, Streptococcus aureus 18.4, Streptococcus 15.5, Protozoa 5.6, Gardnerella vaginalis 9.2, Candida albicans 11.3, and T. vaginalis 3.9. 85 women of cases had recurrent attack of vaginal infection. Recurrent attacks means 4 or more than episodes of vaginal infection occur during 1 year, with rate of 3 times per year. About 12.3 were new cases and 2.2 were never infected. Candidiasis is one of the most common causes vaginal infection, also known as yeast, Monella, fungal infection. Vaginal yeast infection result from overgrowth of Candida albicans, which normally present in harmless amount of the vagina, digestive tract, and mouth. In 80 to 90% of cases is caused by overgrowth of yeast Candida albicans, and about 1 to 20 caused by Candida glabrata or Candida tropicalis. It is rare and with recurrent state of candidiasis. Estimated about 75% of women will have at least one episode of vulvovaginal candidiasis, and 40 to 45% will have 2 or more episodes during reproductive year. Vulvovaginal candidiasis can classify as uncomplicated or complicated. Approximately 10 to 20 of women will have complicated VVC. Predisposing factor of vulvovaginal candidiasis. Firstly, pregnancy, because the change of level of hormone. Diabetes mellitus, because causes glycogen deposition of the vagina. Broad spectrum antibiotics, because killing the normal bacteria flora in the vagina. Corticosteroid. Heat moisture is the most common in Egypt during summer. Heat and moisture is high moisture rate and high temperature, weather temperature during the summer. Occlusive clothing, tightening clothes, HIV and chronic debridement. Typical symptoms, the most common complaint from pruritus, vaginal soreness, dyspareunia, external dysuria, abnormal vaginal discharge characteristic by white crowd-like cheesy vaginal discharge. This figure illustrates the discharge of vulvovaginal candidiasis, like the cheesy-like discharge around the posterior fornix of the vagina and the cervix, causes severe dyspareunia and severe itching. This figure illustrates how to insert speculum to visualization of the vagina and take swab. Inspection the cervix, cervicitis, in cases of gonorrhea or chlamydia, cervical erosion, masses, cervical malignancy or benign as cervical polyp, ulcer, genital tract herpes, abnormal discharge, bacterial vaginosis or trichomonas. Figure illustrates how to take the vaginal sample from the posterior fornix of the vagina. Swab technique. Pick up the swab sample tube using your dominant hand and paste into your non-dominant hand. Remove the lid of the sample tube using your dominant hand and place in tray. Pick up the swab itself with your dominant hand and take the sample. Please use the swab back into this tube, which still be in your non-dominant hand, and tighten the lid. Please completely swab into the tray. Vaginal candidiasis, uncomplicated and complicated, two types. Uncomplicated, it means come in periodic or infrequent, mild to moderate symptoms, come to non-immunocompromised women, come with normal women, not have any chronic disease. Complicated vulvovaginal candidiasis, recurrent, more than 4 times per year, severe symptoms with dyspareunia and severe itching, and maybe causes PID, pelvic inflammatory disease. Women with uncontrolled diabetes and immunosuppressant disease. Uncomplicated vulvovaginal candidiasis, diagnosis based on clinical feature. Women complain from external pain, swelling, redness, valvular edema, thick, crowded vaginal discharge. Demonstration of Candida mycelia under the microscopic examination by wet drop preparation, saline or 10% CoH, potassium hydroxide, or Gram-Stain of vaginal discharge. Mostly women with symptomatic vaginal candidiasis can be diagnosed easily by Gram-Stain and give high diagnostic sensitivity test. Culture is recommended. Culture recommended with recurrent and non-albicans type. Vaginal pH less than 4.5. This figure illustrates the figure of Candida albicans under the microscopic examination and see hyphaceal and spore less than leukocytes. Okay, done by a gram stain test. Treatment of uncomplicated vulvovaginitis. Short course of topical formulation, single dose regimen for 1 to 3 days. Effectively treated uncomplicated vulvovaginal candidiasis. Topical applied azole during drugs are more effective than nystatin. Treatment with azole result relief symptoms in 80 to 90% of the patient. Treatment of uncomplicated vulvovaginal candidiasis, it is give high curative rate, but depend on the women regimen and complete the course of treatment. A recommended regimen for uncomplicated intravaginal agent, butonoconazole, 2% cream, 5 gram intravaginal for 3 days. Clotrimazole, 1% cream, 5 gram intravaginal for 7 to 14 days. Clotrimazole, 100 milligram vaginal tablet for 7 days. Micanazole, 2% cream for 2 weeks. Recurrent vulvovaginal candidiasis. Recurrent vulvovaginal candidiasis, usually defined as 4 or more episodes of symptomatic vaginal candidiasis in 1 year. Affect a small percentage of women, about less than 5% of women suffering from recurrent vulvovaginal candidiasis. The pathogenesis of recurrent is poorly understood, and the majority of women with RVC have no apparent predisposing or underlying condition. Vaginal culture should be obtained from patient to confirm clinical diagnosis and to identify unusual sepsis, including non-albicans sepsis. Vaginal candidiasis, complicated vulvovaginal treatment, recurrent vulvovaginal candidiasis, recommended long duration initial therapy. Initial therapy, at least 2 weeks of topical therapy, or 100 milligram to 100 half milligram, or 200 milligram oral dose fluconazole every third day for total of 3 doses. Day 1, day 4, day 7. Maintenance regimens, oral fluconazole 100 milligram to 150 or 200 milligram weekly for 6 months. Maintenance dose for 6 months. First line of treatment of recurrent vulvovaginal candidiasis. Needed to long duration treatment. Sherry. Sorry.
Yes, okay, no problem. You can off your other camera, then we will go okay, I think. Other phone down. No, this one, yes, this one keep.
Problem occur in sharing why?
Yes, share please. Yes, okay.
Complicated vulvovaginal candidiasis.
Maybe hang,
You,
not
okay,
yet.
you,
Again, stop and
okay. Complicated vulvovaginal candidiasis, severe vulvovaginal.
sorry, sorry that slide not moving. You again share, please.
Okay.
Yes.
I share now.
Make full, yes, share please, full screen.
Bacterial vaginosis usage
No, not make full screen. Make open, madam, first. Open the PPT first.
You see the slide, bacterial vaginosis?
No, full screen not seen. It is showing inside the folder. You open the PPT first, then share.
Now I will discuss about bacterial vaginosis. You see slide?
No, madam.
You first open your PPT and then press F5 button F5. Then share the screen.
No, actually her computer hanged maybe. Or that it is showing like this.
Yes, yes, yes.
It's
Now,
good now.
okay.
It's good. Okay.
Please.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good. Go ahead. Continue, madam. Yeah, Dr. Amel is okay right now.
Bacterial vaginosis is the second most common type of infection in Egypt. Bacterial vaginosis is a polymicrobial clinical syndrome resulting from replacement of normal producing of lactobacilli in the vagina with high concentration of anaerobic bacteria, Gardnerella. According to Chloe, bacterial vaginosis, formerly known as Gardnerella vaginalis, and non-specific vaginitis, is the commonest type of vaginitis worldwide. Anaerobic gram variable root, it has been demonstrated to cause wide variety of infection. It is the most commonly recognized for the role as one of organisms responsible for bacterial vaginosis by 1954 by Gardner scientists, and is used first to describe condition characterized by abnormal vaginal discharge, finding associated with presence of small gram-negative root they named Hemophilus vaginalis. Characteristic, it can be diagnosed easily by MCL criteria. If I found 3 symptoms from 4, I suspect bacterial vaginosis and prescribe proper medication for treatment. For MCL criteria, homogeneous thin white discharge that smoothly coat of the vaginal wall. On microscopic examination, we found the clue cell, epithelial cell with border obscured by small bacteria, clue cell. Vaginal pH more than 4.5. Fishy
Madam,
odor. Yeah,
again hanged. I shared the slide. Is okay?
okay.
Okay, okay.
Bacterial vaginosis by whiff test.
टीम चालू कर रही है क्या?
Okay. This slide okay or next? I am sharing, madam. You can see my slide.
Seems like hang on this the slide, maybe Dr. But it's okay right now. I don't know.
No, I am sharing. So, madam, is okay, Dr. Amel?
Oh, you share, okay. Dr. Amel, can you hear Dr. Sandip?
I'm hear you, but not slide, not.
You can see the slide, your slide.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we can see the slide, but I don't know, Dr. Amel, can you see the slides?
Yes.
Dr. Amel, you see zoom, not your slide. You see the zoom.
That's some problem.
Can see the slide, madam?
Yes.
Madam, can see our slide?
Please open share. I can't share the screen.
No, I already shared. You can see. I shared the slide.
Dr. Amel, Dr. Sandip help you to share the slide. You just see on the Zoom, please.
I want to do another slide.
Okay, you tell me which one I move.
Gramstein.
Okay.
Gramstein is saying the overgrowth of decrease in number of lactobacilli and new bacterial roots appear.
You want to share?
Okay.
Okay, madam, you share. Okay, madam, you share, madam. Madam, you share. Hello.
Hello.
You please share, madam.
Diagnostic consideration when Gramstein is used determines the relative concentration of lactobacilli, gram negative and gram variable roots and cocci. This figure of microscopic examination of bacterial vaginosis sees the decreased number of lactobacillus and new roots of the bacterial vaginosis.
Madam, may I share the slide? You just talk. I shared the slide. Hello.
Sherry. Sorry. Sherry. يا شيري تعالي شوفي الموبايل راح مني. تعالي شوفي الموبايل راح مني. خليكي جنبي ثواني. تعالي. تعالي بسرعة. بسرعة.
Hello. Hello, madam. I think it's a network issue.
Yeah, I think the problem about the connection, internet connection maybe.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, go ahead, Dr. Amel. It's okay, continue.
Yes, I have some problem.
Yes, understand.
Yes, we know. Yeah.
Sorry.
You please proceed, no problem.
No problem. Yeah.
You want me to share the slide or you want
Sorry.
Or maybe we can just open discussion, Dr. Sandip. If there's no, problem about the slides, maybe we can continue with discussion.
I shared the slide, madam. Dr. Amel, I shared the slide.
She's trying to fix the problem.
Madam, I am sharing the slide. You just see. Madam. Hello, Dr. Amel.
Yes, give me
I am sharing
1
the
minute,
slide.
please. Internet problem. I have
Yes,
okay.
yes. So I am sharing the slide. You just proceed.
Ask you to start your video.
Okay. I am sharing the slide for you. You can see the slide and just read.
Sorry for interruption, please. I have some internet problem.
Yeah, maybe it's hard to
I know this
continue.
follow up.
Yeah. So,
Hello.
Why not share the treatment slide?
You can see the slide, madam.
The slide I want
slide,
I want to slide.
Another slide, but ايه ده
You log out from one device, madam.
yeah. Dr. Amel, can you continue this, for the connection? So because you use the two accounts here, so maybe just use one.
I remove one.
Uh-huh. Yeah, sorry everyone, we got problem about internet connection with Dr. Amel. So keep patient. Maybe we can continue for a while after this, after she get to fix the problem. So any question already here to Dr. Amel, Dr. Sandip?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, or maybe we just continue with discussion. We don't need to
Yes,
continue for the slide.
Go for question. This one I check first. One,
Yeah.
as she was describing that the vaginal infection, as all of us know, that vaginal infection can cause to what you call the child cannot be born, and means the fertilization cannot be completed if the vaginal infection is there. So as Dr. Amel is telling that we have to give the therapy of antimicrobial means therapies like the fluconazole, etc. So if the treatments is done, means the vaginal women and men both have to take the medicine because it is a fungus, and if the bacterial infection also there are other defined medicines, as Dr. Amel going to tell that one. Before that net was disconnected. So as soon as there is an infection, the fertilization cannot be occurred, and the child cannot be born by the what you call the female partner. So this is the condition for that. The treatment is very much important. Just 1 minute. She is giving one message.
I can complete now.
Yes, Dr. Amel, you can join.
In addition to that, Sandeep ji,
Yes.
in fact, see the clotrimazole, fluconazole, miconazole, these all are treatment which are available for trichomonas vaginalis or even for giardiasis also to some extent. However, now itraconazole has come in the oral dose, which is shortening the therapy and it is prolonging along with if you are taking with a clotrimazole, the effect will be faster for a shorter duration of time. However, going for the traditional treatment for 6 months with clotrimazole, fluconazole or miconazole. So somehow the pH has to be maintained and that is very much prevalent in a moisturous area and that itself is having the natural moisture. So especially itraconazole has got a wonderful result so far in especially for vaginal infections.
Yes, yes. So means there are different questions, particularly I cannot answer. Like the according to the source is that what is the most common cause of vaginal infection in modern women, and is it right to suspect the result of free sex, or it could be a lifestyle effect of the food they eat, etc. Yes, there are different questions. Yes, there are that one we cannot answer. Means if Dr. Amel is online, then can answer. Dr. Amel, please try once to complete the chat session. She is there. Why? Dr. Amel?
We have also some question on YouTube right now.
Yes, yes. The
But
YouTube
yeah.
question I'm just reading. That one YouTube from YouTube, madam.
Oh, okay, sorry about that. Yeah, and also on this the Zoom chat as well.
Yes, yes.
And also another one
There's some
recent,
network
yeah.
problems.
We are
Maybe.
still waiting for Dr. Amel.
Yes.
Hopefully she can come back soon. This is a common problem for the online webinar seminar. It's maybe too far from Egypt to Indonesia and also in Malaysia, India as well. So right now she's in Cairo, right?
Yes.
Ah, I see. So you have a class in
Okay,
6
so in
p.m. in
another
India
question,
time.
you can go and check.
Okay.
Yes, there is, if there is a, according to sources, what is the most common cause? Yes, that is the infection during the menstruation cycle, if the changes of napkins not done, and also there is fungal infection, if after urination, the place is not cleaned properly and hygienic condition is not maintained. So these vaginal infection may occur. So this is a common cause for women, and also during sexual intercourse, if the both the partners have to clean every parts of the body before sexual intercourse. So these are the common causes for vaginal infection. And yes, lifestyle and food also have some effect, but not so much effect in what we call. If we give the antifungal metabolic drugs, then yes, that affect all over the body, and then the food restriction will be applied. Not that for food, the vaginal infection causing. Okay. So there are other questions. If there is for from Srimoi Bera, for uncomplicated vaginitis, we will combine composition of beclomethasone, dipronate, and chlormetazole and neomycin be effective in curing? Does vaginalisis lead to?
Dr. Amel come back here.
Yes.
So yeah, here, Dr. Amel. Can you ask to, okay, unmute this?
Dr. Amel, just unmute and talk.
Yeah. Dr. Amel, can you hear us? Still problem right now. Okay.
Dr.
Dr.
Amel, can
Amel.
you hear?
Oh, still problem.
So he is asking that does vaginolysis lead to vaginal or uterus cancer if not treated? Yes, it may lead to other diseases, as I told, that the childbirth, many things can be happen. So we should take it seriously. Yes, Dr. Amel, can you hear?
Yeah, I'm here you.
Okay, just give the reply of this question because it is your specialization. Then
Yeah.
if the questions are okay, we just terminate because the slide cannot be shared. You can see the question for uncomplicated vaginolysis.
Complicated bacterial vaginosis?
Yes. There is questions in the chat box.
Treatment about bacterial vaginosis, metronidazole, 200 milligram for 3 times per day for 10 days, or single dose, 2 gram per day, and only single dose.
No. You check the chat box question, madam.
Sorry.
You can see the question, madam.
No, I can't see.
I give you WhatsApp that question. You please check.
Okay, give me, send by WhatsApp, please.
Yes, I have sent the question in WhatsApp. You answer, please.
Uncomplicated vaginalis will combine composition of piclomycin, pointy clotrimazole, and neomycin be effective in curing. Does vaginalis lead to vaginal uterus cancer if not treated? Is there any chance? No, vaginal infection can not causes cervical cancer, but recurrent vaginal infection of trichomonas infection, trichomonas is the one of sexual transmitted disease, can causes cervical cancer. Women have trichomonas infection should be done baby smear, continuous doing baby smear every 6 months. But bacterial vaginosis or candida infection not causes uterine cancer or uterine fibroid or malignant. Okay?
Yes.
Could be lifestyle affect the food as eat? Yes. Eating and the lifestyle can causes recurrent vaginal infection. I will discuss in 5 minutes how to protect myself from vaginal infection or reproductive tract infection. Okay?
Okay.
Modification and nutrition supplementation that can decrease the incidence of vaginal infection. Increase the vitamin intake, antioxidant as A and C, E, well at B complex vitamin and vitamin D are recommended to decrease especially bacterial vaginosis, vitamin D deficiency. Many study done found relation between vitamin D deficiency and the bacterial vaginosis. Well-balanced diet, low in fat, sugar, and refined food, included cheese, alcohol, chocolate, soya sauce, sugar, ginger, fruits, and any fermented food should be avoided.
Okay.
Okay. I want to do some personal hygiene as instruct women to wearing cotton underwear, not wearing tight clothes, change underwear twice per day. Douching should be avoided because it may be disrupt of balance organism found in the vagina and may spread them higher into reproductive system. Avoid wearing tight clothes and wear cotton underwear Avoid wearing nylon clothing that trap heat and moisture. Dry oneself after passing and remove wet passing sweat. Probably change underwear when it become wet and to avoid tampons. يعني continuous dryness of this area. After bowel movement, wipe from front to back, not back to front. Stop using feminine spray. Some women using some spray in this area, perfume, that irritant vagina, and this can increase risk of infection. Also avoid using tampons, sanitary pad. Use condom to avoid sexual transmitted disease. يعني women have more than one partner must be use condom as protective from sexual transmitted disease, especially trichomonas. Clean diaphragm, cervical cap, and the spermicide applicator if used. Observation of sexual partner for lesion or discharge. Avoid sexual contact if following symptoms are present. Increase or false smelling vaginal discharge. Remember that one episode of disease offer no protection from further infection. Partner should be treated to prevent reinfection in recurrent of bacterial vaginosis. Partner must be treated with metronidazole drug in infection with trichomonas infection. A trichomonas infection causes urovaginal discharge with severe itching and urinary symptoms. Examiner sees strawberry cervix edematous and very inflamed. Confirmed by microscopic examination. If women diagnosed trichomonas infection, husband or partner must be treated with the same treatment and sexual abstinence during the course of treatment during 10 days. It is essential to comply with the follow-up evaluation recommended by healthcare provider. Avoid sexual relation until free from infection. Thank you. If you need any question,
Any question more? So
Okay,
nice.
you're very welcome, Dr. Amel.
So as I telling that I am not aware, so Dr. Amel has clearly mentioned what we don't know at all. So thank you, Dr. Amel, for giving a nice answer and also nice question raised by the participant. Very much relevant question. Any other question? Anybody?
Yes, Dr. Poddar, I have a simple question.
Yes, please.
That if someone is actually suffering from vaginal infection, then what will be the minimum time period of restricting from sexual relation in order to avoid?
Okay.
please, Dr. Kubar, send the question by WhatsApp.
Yes.
You ask or write question. A person is affected how much time he cannot sex during the course of treatment until 10 days.
Yes.
10 days and relief of symptoms. If women have recurrent bacterial vaginosis or trichomonas, you must confirm by vaginal swab, negative vaginal swab. If the simple symptoms during 10 days, sexual abstinence during 10 days during the course of medication. Medication of vulvovaginal candidiasis can relieve symptoms within 1 day, and the women stop medication and will occur recurrent infection. As a clinical physician or nurses, you must be instruct all women to complete course of treatment, not stop course of treatment when the symptoms get away. Okay?
Understand. So as Dr. Amel told, and it is depend upon what type of infection. If it is fungal infection, it may recur. So it will take 14 days to, if it is means very strong fungus and longer time it is affected, it takes more than 1 month also to recover. So different types of fungal dose, etc. medicine have to take accordingly.
Fine.
Thank you, Dr. Amel, for nice explanation.
Dr. Sandeep?
Yes.
Thank you.
Dr. Amel, there's a participant also raised hand here, Mariam Lugu. Maybe we still
Yes.
accommodate one participant to ask directly to Dr. Amel. Mariam Lugu, please.
You can.
Just,
Yes. No problem.
active this your video and also unmute this your microphone. You can ask directly to Dr. Amel, please. Mariam Lugu. Yeah.
I would like to ask you about actually women usually take care of their health, especially their vagina healthy, but why there are still lots of women out there get cancer?
Vaginal infection not causes uterine cancer, but only one type of vaginal infection, trichomonas infection, when the women have multiple sexual partners, may be lead to cervical cancer. Always of time, instruct women to do pap smear. Pap smear early detection of cervical cancer. At least do pap smear every 6 months with trichomonas infection. But bacterial vaginosis and vulvovaginal candidiasis not causes uterine cancer, because this infection can occur in virgin women, in virgin girls. Okay?
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I am pleased.
Thank you, Miss Mariam, for nice question again. And if there is no other question, Madam Gushwarani.
Yeah, I think on YouTube we already passed to
answered.
Dr. Amel.
Yes.
Right, and also no. Oh yeah, this one participant asked for the slide. Is it okay for everyone to get the slide from the speaker? Maybe like PDF, we can send to email or.
Okay, I'll ask Dr. Amel.
Okay, I get to Dr.
Sandeep.
And
okay.
Yeah,
I'll
you can send to
speak
Dr.
with Dr.
Sandeep.
Amel
Yes.
and make short and nicely, then we can give.
Oh, okay.
Detail,
Thank you,
because
Dr.
they will be
Amel.
confused.
Thank
Suppose
you.
medicine dose, etc., it should be proper taken care of by proper doctors, what you call advice, because the person may not know it is fungal or bacterial. As Dr. Amel handling, she knows. So, and other medical doctors also know what type of infection. Accordingly, they will give the medicine. So don't go for medication directly by your own. So we know this is the very anti-metabolic drugs. This is, if we apply by tablet like fluconazole, etc., it may have other effects also. So don't take medicine directly. Go directly, immediately go for checkup with consultation with doctor, because don't delay and don't hide this, and immediately you can get cured within 1 day or within 7 days. It is not a very bad issue, but we must get a proper treatment. That is the thing, on proper time. I think, Dr. Amel, I'm not talking much with your specialization, and again, we are thankful for your nice presentation and very informative session, what we can tell, and for spending long time with us. Thank you, madam.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Amel, also. And yeah, we do appreciate, because you are what's it called, giving the big effort to fix the problem, to connect to us. Okay, hopefully we can also meet again for the next lecture. Yeah.
And I am so happy because meet you. Thank you, so Dr. Sandeep. Thank you for every participant, and invite all of them to visit Egypt in the December.
Hopefully,
because
yeah.
Egypt is very
One thing I must tell, madam, that we can see still we have in Zoom more than 50 participants who never lived. Even we give the Google form for certificate, etc. They are here for listening only. So thank you, Dr. Amel, and thank you all the
Thank you.
participants.
Thank you, all participants. Thank you.
So we will
all.
meet again tomorrow, and we'll same time with the same link.
Yes. So tomorrow we will be the last day for
Yes.
this some webinar series. So we invite for everyone to join our lecture tomorrow. Dr. Sandip will be presenting his lecture about environment and human. And please keep joining this our webinar in the same time and also the same Zoom ID, and also join on YouTube. So on behalf of the University of Bengkulu, I would like thank to everyone, particularly to our distinguished speakers today, Mr. Aditya, yeah, and also Dr. Amel, and also of course for participant, the distinguished participant who keep staying until the end of this hour webinar. Don't forget to join again. Yeah.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Stay
Yeah.
safe. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, everyone. So we can finish this our webinar today. Hopefully you can get a lot of knowledge and benefit from our speakers today. And don't forget to join again tomorrow. We do apologize for any inconvenience today. And see you again. Have a good night. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Dr. Amel.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone. Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
So I left meeting. Thank you. See you.
Yes.
Bye.